Okay, this story was shared with me from a past girlfriend about 8 or 9 years ago, and how we came across talking about the topic was a complete fluke. It was just by chance, because we're at my place, and she was in my living room. We just gotten home, and I was in the other end of the house actually going to the bathroom. And I come back out, and just as I was going in there, because I could see her, she's standing on my bookshelf. And I could see her back was to me. She's facing my bookshelf where I had one whole shelf is almost a complete shelf of books on Sasquatches, And I also, over the past, somebody gave me one of those little plastic Sasquatch figurines, and I had that sitting there too. And from where I was, I thought she was standing there looking at it. So as I go to the bathroom, I go, looking at my Sasquatch, whatever. And I had the fire was just lit and crackling with the and the fire had just been lit and was crackling with the kindling and everything. So I think she didn't quite hear me clearly when I spoke, and I didn't quite hear her reply. And then when I came back out of the bathroom, she goes, "Look, if you're gonna tease me about it, I know it wasn't a bear what I saw, okay?" And I'm like, "Huh? What are you talking about?" And she goes, "Oh, I thought you were teasing me about my Sasquatch story." And I go, "No, I said you're looking at my Sasquatch. You've got a Sasquatch story? Are you serious?" "Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't need to laugh at me, because I know what I saw." And here we go. Here we go with another story, right? So I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me? What? Tell me about it. What happened?" So listen to this one. And again, here's somebody, a straight up honest shooter who I can vouch for. I don't give a shit how crazy this sounds or who believes it or not. I'm going to say this probably every single time. Because unfortunately we can't pick and choose our audience when I'm sharing these videos. And again, I'm only sharing these videos with the people who's interested in this topic, and with you people who are unfortunately a little too insecure to talk about it openly. I'm here for you. I got your back, and that's why I'm doing this. So anyways, back to the story at hand. She was around 19 or 20 years old. She was driving from Whistler back to Edmonton to see family. It's during the winter time, and as the full-on snow blizzard kicked in, it was dark, and she was between. There's a highway that connects to Kamloops, straight line all the way to Edmonton, and it takes you right through Jasper. I forget the number of the highway. I should know. It's right in my backyard in British Columbia, but whatever is what it is. And her and her girlfriend were driving along. She's driving, and the way she described it, because she said there was a straight drop off on the left-hand side of the highway, headed north, and there's only one place in that highway that does that, and that is it's either before. I think it's before Blue River. It's either Blue River or Valemont. There's a rise where the highway climbs up, straight shot down to the left, and that's the only place. So it's right there. Anyways, she told me, she kept on stressing, "I know what I saw. I know what I saw." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm good. You're not going to get ridiculed for me. You're safe. I've seen one too. I'm all good. Just tell me your damn story. It's good. You're safe. You're in a safe place." And furthermore, once you hear this story, what a shit-eating, ridiculous thing to make up. Maybe some people make stupid shit up. People don't make this shit up. Sane people. So her and her girlfriend driving along, and turned into a full whiteout. Nighttime driving, full whiteout. She said she's doing like 10 miles an hour, trying to see the frickin' white line, trying to drive off the road. And she said that she's driving along whiteout, kind of getting anxiety from not being able to see nothing. And she says, "Oh my God, I can't even believe I'm driving right now." No peep out of her girlfriend, looks over at her passenger, her girlfriend, and her girlfriend's wedged up against the passenger door with a white frickin' shitting herself look in her face, looking past the driver, my girlfriend, past her face, out her window, in terror. She looks beside her, and she told me, here's this great big frickin' face of this being that was literally stooped over. She called it running beside her car, looking in the window at them. And I'm like, "What? What?" I'm like, "What the hell did that look like?" She said it was huge. She said it was absolutely huge. Its head filled the window. This thing's face was this far away from her face, looking in the window at them. And the look on her face as she's telling the story, the sincerity, I mean, it's a mind-blowing frickin' story. And I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me. What'd you do?" And she said, I just glanced over. It was right there looking in at us. She said, I just went in shock. I looked straight ahead. Right then, she said she could see the white line on the opposite side of the highway coming into view in the headlights. So she had completely drifted to the wrong side of the highway. And she said she turned the wheel to avoid going off the side of the highway in the wrong lane to get back to her side of the highway. And she said that thing then disappeared off into the darkness, out of the lights of the headlight. They carried on. And she said they kept on driving, never stopped. They said they got to the Husky station. I'm pretty sure it's Blue River or Valmont, whichever one's first. I'm pretty sure it's Blue River's got the Husky on the right, the coffee shop, 24-hour one. She said they basically ran into the Greyhound at the gas station, the Mohawk, and ran to the coffee shop, and they just sat there. She said they just sat there not talking. They didn't talk about it. They waited till daylight, and then continued on their way. And she said that they never spoke about it. Isn't that weird how that's such a common... I've read that and heard that multiple times where one or more than one person has ran in and seen one of these things, and all of a sudden, you know, they go into shock and they can't deal with it, and they don't speak of it, and they never do speak of it. That's really hard to imagine. But anyways, that's what she told me. And when I asked her, I said, well, what did it look like? Her words, she said to me, it had an expression on its face like it was rocking out, like it was totally into this, like it was amusing itself, like it was entertained. It didn't look mean or threatening. She said it had massive eyeballs, square teeth like ours, thin lips, hair around its face. And she said she didn't look at it too long because she had to look, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Concentrate, there's the white line on the highway, veer over, out of the lights it goes, and that was it. But what an insanely crazy experience. I mean, what a frickin' experience. You imagine having that experience if you're not even familiar with these things. Imagine having that experience. Oh my God. So there you go. There's another story which has been relayed to me over the past years since somebody who is as solid as rock, and I trust my life in a second. A very sincere person. And if she told me her story, that's what she saw. That's what she saw. And you know, once you've seen a couple of these things yourself, it's far more easier to take in these accounts, look them in the eye, see the reaction, see the delivery, and understand that they're sincere and they have a story that they've been keeping within themselves for years, and they're absolutely relieved to share it with somebody who could sympathize with them and share similar experiences over the years. So there you go. How is that for an experience and a story? You know, it's a short one, it's a quick one, but wow, when you try to imagine yourself being there in that position and glancing over, I mean, it's terrifying in a way, to use that word. It's scary enough just to see one of these things just to see one of these things from the safety of a vehicle a couple hundred yards away, or running across a slope up in the slope is concerning enough. But to have one of those things, a foot, 2 feet away from your face looking at you, wow. To have one of those things, but to have one of those things looking in your eyes from 2 feet away as it stooped over. She said it was absolutely bent right over, looking to get its view, to get into the window. It had to stoop right over and look into the window. Crazy. So that was a short one. So I have another quick one to share with you from another past girlfriend's parents years ago on Vancouver Island. They lived in Souk, BC, and her father was a long-time faller out in Port Renfrew. And I remember she said that she thought she recalled her father saying that they had seen one of these things at work before in the past. I'm like, oh, no way. Think you tell me about it? She's like, yeah, give me a go. So we go to their place. And I asked him, I said, has he seen a Sasquatch before? And he's like, total matter-of-fact guy. It's like, oh, yeah. Yeah. There's 5 of us saw one in the work crummy. And if you're not familiar with what the work crummy is, it's one of those crew trucks that takes the whole logging crew into the woods and back to the shop, or back to camp at the end of the day. And he told me they were driving along Gordon River, which dumps into Port Renfrew, which is on the west coast of Vancouver Island, not overly too far from where my grandfather had his experience. And he said it was in the fall. There was a little bit of snow on the logging road. They're driving back. It was dark. And he said that up ahead they could see 2 glowing eyes in the headlights of the pickup truck up above the short alder on the side of the road, and they said it looked like he was up on the bank. But then as they're getting closer, they realized there's no bank up there. It's straight ground level with the height of the logging road they're driving on. They stopped, and he said this thing took 2 steps across the logging road in front of the pickup truck, and its waist was above the front of the 4x4 pickup truck. He said its waist was well above the front of the truck, took 2 steps across, stopped, glanced back at them again, said its eyes reflected in the headlights just like a deer, and then it looked away and disappeared in the darkness. So there's another one told to me randomly. I asked for it to be told to me, and there's another one. And for all of you curious, if you carry yourself in an honest way, non-threatening way, if you want somebody to share stories with you, I mean, you can't approach this topic in a comedic way. You can't approach this topic or approach somebody in a way of handling this topic like it's a funny one or it's a crazy topic. You just got to be sincere and honest and be a safe place for people to speak, and they will share with you, and you'll be very, very surprised at how often, how common it is to find or hear a story of these beings from people who have had encounters with them. It's very, very common. And sadly, as much of an effort there is from others being made to prove their existence, there is probably more of an effort on average to stop people from proving its existence. Why? I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm not even curious. I don't care. It's what it is. So there you go. There's 2 more quick stories I can share with you guys right now while I'm up on top of this mountain trying to get out of the rain and get my work done.